Okay, well, hello and welcome to episode 2 of French Ear Trumpet. Myself, Andy, from AJ in France, and Colin from French Countryside Live. Just get together and talk about whatever we think about talking about. So today we're going to have a chat about DIY projects, sourcing materials, how easy it is to do. That's a general gist of things, really, I think, but we'll cover an awful lot of things, I think, in this video. But if you like it, please subscribe, and you'll find a link down below to both of our channels. So pop on over there and have a look at what we do on our own individual channels. So doing DIY in France,
yeah,
interesting. Now, the first question I'm going to ask you is, have you engaged any artisans or professional people to do any work in France? That might be a good place to start, really.
I haven't personally, no. I'm fortunate in that I know this fella that lives up in Brittany that comes down and shakes his head at me.
Yeah, I suppose so. Have you ever, I mean, not in just this house, but in the other, have you engaged any artisan?
Yeah, it's a completely different culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of paperwork and the 10-year guarantee for work, and yeah, it's a completely different culture.
Yeah, it's a good point you mentioned that, because building services, what we would class as probably DIY, in fact, nearly anything practical is regulated in France, and you have to sign up to the, I'm going to get this wrong, Chambre de Métier, or something along those lines.
That's pretty good. That's pretty.
Is that how they say it?
Chambre de Métier. Yeah, it's the Chamber of Commerce, really. Well, actually, Chamber of artisans, really, isn't it? That's the idea of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, for those who have seen my video, my brother has his own, what we would term in England as, I guess, limited company, but in France it's an SARL.
Yeah, SARL, yeah.
Yeah, and he does tiling around the Brittany area, and for the right price, he'll probably come and tile your chateau if anyone's watching. And he's really good at his job. I mean, you've seen some of the videos. I mean, he's really, really good. And I have the privilege of working with him time to time. But speaking to him, I do know it costs an awful lot to run one of these companies. I mean, the taxes, the charges, it's nothing like in the UK. But so, for example, in the UK, you can wake up one morning and you go, right, I'm a builder today. I'm going to make my own limited company, and that's it. And then if it doesn't work out, then fold the company and that's it. But it's not quite like that in France, because you have to have your 10-year guarantee for work and all that. So that leads on. Go on, son.
Yeah, just to talk about that for a moment. It's a 10-year guarantee on work done, but it's covered by an insurance policy.
That's right.
Is it called a Decentel?
Decenal.
Decenal, there you go.
Yeah.
It's
at this point I would really like to apologise to any French people watching, because
rubbish French.
It's so rubbish in French.
Honestly.
Yeah, carry on.
We have a go now, don't we? We have a go. We turn up and have a go.
That's it. What could go wrong?
Yeah, so that's more of an insurance policy than a guarantee with the person, isn't it? Because should that person go out of business or stop doing it anymore, then that 10-year insurance policy covers you for the work to be done. Should there be a fault?
Yeah. My brother's, to be fair though, it isn't particularly very good. My brother's given me he's never had a claim on it, but
yeah,
he obviously working on a building site, he knows lots of people that have.
Yeah.
And it's it's not really very good. I think he was telling me a story of damage to some tiles that were caused by other builders or other workmen, and they said, right, okay, the Decennial will cover it, and it was, let's say for sake of argument, it's a plain white gloss floor. They came in and said, right, well, we can't get those tiles anymore, so we'll just replace these 4 that would have been white with whatever we can get.
Yeah, with some nice brown ones. There you go.
Yeah, so it isn't particularly good, but it's better than nothing, I guess.
That's typical with insurance processes in France. I mean, that's a whole subject in itself, isn't it? Insurance. I mean, I had my car damaged by hail. I think it was almost a year ago now.
Good video, that, by the way. Anyone watching, try and get a link down below, but it's a really good video. It's amazing.
And it took about 9 months to get them to take a look at the car, and then about another month to for them to find someone to do it or to make the decision to repair it. And it's going to be repaired on the 3rd of June. So
wow.
It'll be way over a year.
Yeah. But that translates a similar thing to the Decennial insurance.
That's why I brought it up, just to illustrate the insurance process is completely different, isn't it?
Well, like everything in France, it's long, protracted, involves a hell of a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, Kath and Pete, who live down in Ribrac, if you have a look at some of the older videos, they've got a lovely place there with sheets and converted barns and so on. And they had a devastating hailstorm, destroyed their roofs, destroyed both their cars. And they're still waiting for the roof to be repaired. Of course, all this time, there's been more damage caused through water ingress through the roof, because they just to go off at a tangent again.
We don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do
that. I wasn't aware, but the Pompeo it's like the fire brigade sort of paramedic sort of emergency sort of people. They actually come out and put a tarpaulin over your roof after a hailstone. That's one of their jobs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, we'll get we can go off on tangents all day long. Yeah. Did you know that you can actually? This is completely irrelevant, but you can actually engage the postman or the post lady to drop in and have a cup of tea on your relatives if you wanted to keep an eye on them.
Oh, really?
It's a paid service, apparently.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, just because of what you said about the Pompeo. Anyway, yes. So
what we were saying was that the insurance claim process is completely different here, isn't it? And it's protracted and painful and involves a huge amount of paperwork.
Yeah.
And
so that's basically the Decennial. It covers against workmanship and all that kind of stuff. But it's really not very good. And I've lots of real horror stories about that. So artisans. I mean, I've had one guy come. He did, because I had this house. I think I bought it in 2010. And about 3 years into it, I realised I'm going to need a new roof. But I was only coming at weekends, so I thought, right, I'm going to get a local roofer to do it. And he did it for the money he said he would, and it's all written down in the Devi. It's very good.
Just explain for people listening what a Devi is.
Yeah, good point. So, if you engage an artisan in France, they will give you a devis, which is like a quote, but it's legally binding, and it will include everything on it. And they have to do the work that's in the quote for the price that they say on the quote. They did change the rules and how long it was going to last because of the inflation hike and all that. I'm not sure now. So if they accept the Devi, you both accept it, then he legally or she legally has to do it. Sorry?
You have to sign the Devi to accept it and send it back, and then that forms the contract then, isn't it?
Yeah, and the decennial insurance starts from the minute that the work is complete or you say that it's completed. That was one of the problems with my roof. There was bits that I didn't really like. The finishing wasn't particularly good, and he left a load of rubbish all around. I said to him, I don't consider this job finished until that's all sorted out. So he had to come back, make a few little changes, and then that was it. So the 10 years started. So it's run out now, though, but everything's fine. Yeah. Other people I've spoken to, and I actually helped my neighbour. If you see my videos, I help a guy out who's French prepare for his new kitchen to be installed, and he wasn't happy. The quality of the work, it wasn't amazing. Didn't like it, and he paid a fortune for it, obviously, because it's an artisan. So this leads on to people doing the work themselves, and British people especially want to do it all themselves.
Yeah.
And there are some differences in France to doing it yourself than there is in England. For example, you can carry out the electrical work in France if you wanted to, which we've seen on your videos, actually.
Yeah, that's been fun,
hasn't it? And some people are tempted to bring over British stuff and do the work in France using British pipe or cable or that sort of stuff.
That's,
in fact,
the big issue here, isn't it? You know, that's.
I was just going to say, how have you found that? Now you're in the place of buying a house that's already had that done to it, and now working with it in France. How did that work out?
Well, it's just a matter of changing things back, isn't it? It's identifying what shouldn't be there and putting in what should be there, really. So the twin and earth wiring's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, which you can't use.
No, and it's just I think there was a comment on one of the previous videos that it sounded like it was a Sparky. Actually, he was talking like it was a Sparky. He said that the whole house needs a rewire.
Yeah,
which is probably true, but the amount of money and the amount of disruption that it cause is just impractical. So you just got to get on with what you got and hope it doesn't burn down.
It doesn't. Yeah, the bar's really high.
Yeah.
Just hope it doesn't. Crikey. So yeah, but I've seen some of your videos, and you do quite a lot of DIY stuff, especially in your last house before we got together.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of painting and that sort of stuff. How do you find the painting? Because you do loads of painting. Compare it to English paint, which is your preferred?
You tend to get what you pay for, yeah. As you well know, it's probably 5 litres of paint can be from about €20 for stuff that's like milk. So it's 23 coats and it's looking good. Or you can pay €85, €90, €120 easily for a tin of really good paint. So it's probably 2 or 3 times the cost of paint in the UK. So I think pre-Brexit, I think I said the word.
That's it. Sirens are going off everywhere now. That's it. Triggered. Alexa's doing a dance. Oh my goodness.
Pre-Brexit, then it wasn't such an issue, but if you attempt to bring paint over, which I'm sure most people do, then you could find yourself, if you had a lot of it and you got stopped, you could find yourself in a bit of trouble there with the the import taxes because they're huge.
I think we should do an episode on that, bringing stuff over now that Brexit's in, because just going off tangent again, obviously. I do know of somebody who was stopped with a car and a trailer, and they had to itemize everything in there, including lawnmowers and that sort of stuff. And if they don't take it out of the country within a certain time period, then they've got to pay the tax on it.
Yeah. I mean, you see that a lot of the shops that sell British goods, so like British foods, they'll be from the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
So there's Irish bacon, Irish pies, Irish this and that, because to bring stuff in from the UK, it's just not worth it now.
Yeah, definitely. So apart from, I don't know what else I would bring now. To be fair, from the UK for DIY wise. You can get nearly everything the same. Is there anything you missed, DIY wise, that you would like to bring over? Someone, in fact, actually, Graham from our French house renovation,
Brilliant
top channel, link in the description, obviously. He said he's going to bring over some decorator's cork, because you can't find here, as in the stuff we're used to in England.
No.
Decorate.
There is something that's similar to it that you can, that you can fill a joint and paint it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a similar
acrylic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, it's a similar product, isn't it? But
yeah, the difference with acrylic is, and I didn't realize it until I started working with my brother. Mm-hmm. It is actually better, in my opinion, to decorate as cork, but you have to smooth it off at the end with a wet sponge. The more water on it, the better, and you get a really good finish.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to probably do a video on how to do that, because decorator's cork is something you can't get.
Actually, it's funny to say that, because the shower that we put in, and where it was starting to not leak, but around the edge of the shower tray.
Yeah.
And you said to me, put some silicone along there. Make sure you use the appropriate tool. And I bought one. It's a game changer, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, years ago when I first started fitting. Yeah, all the time. Started fitting these showers and stuff. Silicone, acrylic, that kind of thing. I always used to do it like that. Tape it off. Spend ages taping it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh God, no. These silicone tools, providing you've got like a flat tile or something.
Yeah, as long as it's 90 degrees.
Yeah. Then you're in.
Then you're laughing, but
done in no time.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And strange enough, I was doing a job down in Chabonet. It was last week, and I'd fitted a utility room for this lady, and she bought like a backsplash, if you like, but like a small one like that, that ran all the way along. And I put some silicone along it. I tell you what, it looks so good. It looks like I haven't done it. It looks like someone else has done it. It does waste a lot, though. That's what I would say. It does waste a lot.
That's because you haven't got used to how much to put on.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a learning, thing. But So, but it looks fantastic.
Those silicone tools are super amazing. Now, when I'm working with my brother, he obviously has a big spray can of stuff, and it's not water, it's a special liquid that you spray on it, and it means whatever you touch on the silicone won't stick to it. So you use these tools. And the finish is super high gloss, really nice. And he's recently started using matte granular silicone.
Okay.
So it looks like proper grout when it's finished. You can't tell that, you know, when you do silicon, it's kind of high gloss and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it does look
This
like.
stuff, I think it's made by Ardex.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like the continuation of whatever grout you've used in the shower, and it doesn't look like you've got any sealant on whatsoever. It's really high end stuff, but yeah, worth the money.
One of the things that is quite different. And obviously, I've not been back to the UK for some time, so I can't really compare it. But the price of wood, you know, it's crazy here.
And especially sheet material.
Yeah. Sheets of plywood, €80.
We went to. I don't want to bleep that one out. So we went to a reclamation yard, didn't we?
That's
in
right.
one of our videos.
Yeah.
When I was visiting. A really great place, by the way. It's fantastic. In fact, Robbie did a video of it as well. But the sheet materials are just insane, aren't they? Plywood, like you say, €80 for a sheet.
Yeah.
I'm quite lucky because I have by me like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a destockage. So it's a place that they put all the stuff that main retailers don't want. So it could be like a sheet of plywood with the corner bent off.
Okay.
Or something along those lines, and it'll be less than half price. So you can get a sheet of 18mm ply for around €40.
That's really good.
But the corner's damaged or whatever.
Yeah, we're fairly lucky actually that we've got in Conflon we've got Brico Marché, which is, you know, doesn't really have very wide range. It's not that big, but just down the road there's a Brico Batti, which is you know, got your building materials and, you know, can buy stuff at it's virtually trade price. It's very, very good. So
yeah,
I tend to go.
There's a few like that. Big Matt is another one.
There's one of those in St. Julien.
Yeah, Brico Cash near me near Brestweer. Oh, yeah, anyway, but there are some places, but the main big boys, I guess, are Dennis, Point P.
Don't know them.
They're big builders merchants, the countrywide. So when I was doing the extension on my dad's house, we got loads of aggregate and building materials, blocks, and all that sort of stuff. But the delivery charge was €80.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say there's a place like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it may well be one that you just said down in Chabanais, not far from CPU. And their delivery price is I mean, it's a 12-minute drive.
Yeah.
Down to CPU. It's €40.
Wow.
€40 delivery.
Yeah, it was 80 because we had to have the truck with the crane to crane off the pallets of blocks and all that. So anyway, the easy way to knock that price down for the delivery is get a trailer. You've got a really nice trailer, haven't you?
Yeah.
You could probably get maybe a pallet of blocks on that, I reckon.
It's 750 kilos it's rated for, so maybe.
Yeah. I got a big trailer, 3.5-ton trailer, which is a tipping trailer as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a video actually going and buying loose material. So there's a place just down the road that sells sand, gravel, and a mix of sand and gravel for concrete. But you roll in there, you get on a really huge weighing scale, and they weigh you and your trailer. So I went on there, it was about 4 tons, something like that. And then you go and he gets his loader, loads the trailer, you go back on the scales, and that's it. You just pay for whatever the difference is in whatever aggregate you want. So I got 2 tons of sand the other day, and it was about €120.
Yeah.
Which is super. If you bought that in bags or delivered in big bags, that would have been a fortune.
Yeah.
That was cement as well. I got 4 bags of cement in there as well. So, and there's bags of cement are 35 kilos as well, not 25. So whenever you're pricing that up, you've got to look the difference in the weight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So buying it and going collecting it yourself, is much cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I bought the trailer before we moved down here when we still had the place up in Normandy as a holiday home, and I brought it over to there, brought it over there, and left it there, covered over, and it's been brilliant. I'm so glad I bought it. It's one of the best things I bought. I remember going up to the wood yard in just up the road from us up there, and buying 2 big crates of firewood by the chauffage, and
Nice.
and the fella used the big forklift. He put one on. I said, "Yeah, go on, stick the other one on." He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be all right." So, okay, he put it on. The trailer's like, and I got it home. I was driving so slowly. I thought,
I can imagine. And it's quite a steep drive into your house as well, isn't it?
not here, no. This is
It's Normandy,
other place, but I took all the back roads as well.
Oh dear. Yeah, so a trailer, it's a must-have, really.
Definitely, and the biggest one you can afford as well.
Yeah, up to 750 kilos if you don't want to insure it, I guess, and register it. Anything after 750, you've got to insure and register, which is what I've had to do with mine.
And it has its own number plate as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it has its own car grease, its own registration document, and then its own insurance as well. But your car insurance will cover you anything up to 750.
Yeah.
And obviously, for those people like me who passed their test after 97, you need the appropriate driving license as well.
Right.
So you'll be all right with grandfather rights. But I actually had to take a test, would you believe? So we'll get more into that, I guess, on our driving video that we're going to do.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Finally have something that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So where else do you shop mainly? Probably the same as me, Leroy Merlin. And that's not how they say it at all.
I know, yeah. Robbie was tying himself up in knots talking about that one. So I'm not even going to attempt it because I'll just look an idiot.
Yeah. So we'll call it Leroy's, yeah?
We'll call it Leroy's, yeah. Commonly known as.
That's it.
Yeah, no, brilliant. That's a brilliant shop. You've got pretty much everything, haven't you? You could probably build a house, I think, with it. Just going there and all this stuff.
Yeah, no. So I've been to the one near you. Limoges is your nearest one, I think. But it's really good there. And they do actually sell loose material and big bags of material, but they have like a separate builder's yard normally adjacent.
Drive out, isn't it? So yeah, and it's so, you drive in and you get parked up and you put in all the stuff that that you want, and then you pay for it, and then you go.
Yeah. So yeah, but you can get everything there: cement mixers,
everything. That's fantastic.
Blocks, plasterboard, plaster, literally everything you want. Big racks of it, and you just fire it in your car.
They have really good deals on as well. The roofing panels for the tiki bar, there was an offer. They was I think that was end of range, so they should have been €24 a sheet, and I got it for 6.
That's really good.
So that's fantastic. So bought all of them.
It's worth getting their loyalty card as well.
It's really good. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I've got it on my phone. Actually, that's a really interesting point. Actually, just going off a slight tangent, but a really interesting point. Now, if you've got a UK Apple ID,
Yeah.
you could. There are some apps, some store cards that you can't get the app for, because
That's right.
Because the French apps won't be on the UK Apple App Store.
That's right.
So that's so I've not got the Leroy Merlin app on my phone, but I have got a photograph. But I can do it on the PC. So I've got a photograph of the barcode of the. So I have to do it that way. But
that's worth mentioning, because if you
consideration.
download the Lidl app, for example,
Right.
then you can't get the French one.
Now I don't know whether that's just Apple or whether that's Android as well, whether that's Google Store. I'm not sure where you get the apps from for Android.
For me, I've got Android, so you get it from Google Play Store. I've never really had a problem. But before that, I did have an iPhone and I couldn't get the Leroy app.
There you go.
That is worth. So that is actually some useful information in this video. I'm sure people will be happy that 30 minutes in, they finally got some useful information.
Yeah, but the issue is to change your Apple ID. You got to open a new Apple account basically, and just basically start again. And it's and it is quite not an upheaval, but it's it is a bit of a faff in it to.
Oh, definitely. You lose everything. So, like you said though, if you take a picture of the barcode, and then you can use that with scanning.
Because you can do you can access your account online, and that's fine. So you can do everything that you need online. But they're very, very good. It's a very good.
You get more benefits as well. So they'll take anything back up to 12 months as well with the card for quibble free.
You don't need the receipt either, because everything's on your on your app.
Yeah, and they do send you offers every now and then, like you say, that you can then combine with your rewards, and you can get stuff really, really reasonably priced as well. Yeah, I've always liked them. It's my preferred go-to. Especially if I want plumbing fittings, they usually have a really good selection of either the slide-on type or the crimp type fittings. They've usually got
those crimp type fittings. They're a revelation, aren't they?
The pecs,
they're a revelation, aren't they? That's brilliant.
But that is a good example of how things differ from the UK. The UK seems to have a lot of their push fit is like a proprietary make. So you've got Speed Fit, Hep2O, all that sort of stuff. And yes, you can actually chop and change them, and you can use copper in them, but they're not as universal as they are here. So here you've got the crimp fittings for multi-couche and the PER as well. They're different sizes, by the way. And you still have compression fittings for brass. You still have.
So the multi-couche is plastic, aluminium and plastic, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
And the PER is the just plastic, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, usually just red and blue.
I remember you saying to me that the good thing about the multi-couche, because it's got aluminium in it, if you bend it to, if you bend it to something, it will stay there. Whereas with the other one, you bend it, it'll just spring back.
Yeah. The multi-couche has other advantages as well. I mean, it can withstand the higher temperature.
Yeah.
I prefer it, but it's more expensive. The fittings are similar prices, but fittings in themselves are incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's add up.
Oh God, yeah, that's the most. I wager that anyone doing a bathroom or a kitchen, part of your first fix, you most of your money will go on the plumbing fittings. You can pay up to £7 for €7 for one fitting. It's just It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's not much to them either.
No, but with that crimp, they just don't leak, do they? As long as it's crimp, they just don't leak. Whereas with the compression fittings, there's always a
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it could be subject to movement in the future, and compression fittings don't like that if you twist it. But you've got a certain bit of movement for multi-couche and the PER. Yeah, it's a different method of doing things. But like I was just saying, you can still do soldered copper. There's no problem. That's still available.
Yeah.
You can do brass fittings. They're still available. So, and flexibles. Everyone loves a flexible. Plenty of them flying around. So you can do pretty much all of that stuff. But again, it is both electrics and plumbing. You can't really bring the stuff from England.
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, one of the ladies that I was doing some work for, she said that she knew this woman that had her house rewired, and she had it all wired in a British way, because that's what she, because all of her items had British plugs on. So rather than changing the plugs, she changed all the sockets.
Oh God.
Yeah. So she said when she came to sell it, the diagnostic came around and went, no, that ain't happening, and she had to have it all changed back again.
It's funny because I actually know a couple who sold their house recently, probably in the last year or so, maybe 18 months, and they've done something similar. They used twin and earth, done ring mains. Maybe 50% of the sockets were British and 50 were French. It's depending on what appliance they brought. So if you had a washing machine, it was British. They put a British socket in rather than just change the plug. And they sold it, and God knows how, they just sold it as is.
Yeah.
I think the buyer just went, I know it's got to be rewired. It's just part of it, really.
Yeah.
But I have seen that before. Yeah, English sockets on the wall.
Yeah.
Oof.
What do you think how simple it is just to change a plug?
Yeah. I don't know.
Having said that, I've got to fess up that I've only just, I think probably last week, changed the plug on my SDS drill.
Right, it's quite interesting. So let's say you've got 100 items you bring with you that you want to change. A plug is anywhere between €2 and €4.
Yeah.
Did you buy them outright?
Yeah.
So you're looking at spending €200 on plugs.
Yeah, but probably.
I mean, you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Yeah. Probably. I only bought about 10% of my tools from the UK. The rest I bought here.
Right. Bosch 10.8, 12 volt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There's good stuff that 12 volt Bosch. It's probably the best. If I was going to recommend a set of tools for anybody who's getting into DIY now, is the 12 volt Bosch. It's all I really use now, unless it's a really big job I need to do alt stuff for, or Milwaukee.
No, it is really good. I'm just trying to. I was looking at a little Bosch. I never know whether to say router or router.
Router.
Router, yeah. Some people say router, don't they?
Router is the piece of equipment that does your internet. That's a router. It routes things.
Don't get them mixed up, do you? That'd be bad, wouldn't it?
A router routes a hole in something,
So I was trying to justify buying a Bosch cordless router, and because I was looking at plans on YouTube for making a router table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but when you look at router tables, I think they probably cost less than the than buying a router and making one.
Yeah, you can pick them up fairly cheap. You've recently bought a table saw as well, haven't you?
Not recently, but I've had it a while. Yeah, terrifies me.
Yeah, absolutely. It even terrifies me, and I've been around machines all my life, and yeah, one slip and that's it.
It's like using chainsaws. Every single time, I always get all kitted up with as much PPE as I can fit on the body.
Yeah.
And because they just terrify me as well. I could just see limbs flying in the air, and
But if you're gonna, but having said that, if you're going to move to especially rural France, you're gonna have to buy a chainsaw. Yeah, you're gonna need it, especially if you're doing your own stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's so useful, for just everything really. But once again, you've got to look after them and you've got to respect them, because if you don't look after them, they won't work properly or they won't start or whatever. But I guess it's like anything, isn't it? Anything mechanical, you get out what you put in, don't you?
Yeah, so I never really, obviously back in the UK, I had no use for a chainsaw whatsoever. So I only started using them when I moved over here for firewood and
same.
pruning trees and stuff. And it's quite complex thing to do. As soon as you touch it on earth, on the ground, that's it. The blade's dull in seconds.
Yeah.
If you hit anything, any stone or anything, it is literally just wood, and that's it.
Yeah.
Have you got an electric one, or is it a petrol one?
They're both petrol. I've got a steel and a one that's not steel. I can't remember who's made by now, but it's a black one.
Right.
But Mackenzie, something like that. But so I used to send my chains off to be sharpened.
Yeah.
About £8 a time. This is like when we had the place up in Normandy as a holiday home. I'd have the chainsaw there, and I'd bring the chain home and send it off. And then I was in Machine Mart, which is a fantastic chain of shops in the UK, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. You could get lost in those all day long.
It's all the things that I didn't realise that I needed.
Yeah. Oh, plasma cutter. Oh God, how much do I need a plasma cutter?
I used to know a fellow up in Normandy who had a plasma cutter. He was into his like DIY welding and metal sculpting and that. And he showed me the plasma cutter that he like demonstrated it. It's like something out of Star Wars, isn't it?
Oh, that's brilliant.
It is like something out of Star Wars. It is. It's a terrifying thing.
Yeah, I'd love one, but to make it worthwhile, I'd have to cut everything. I'd have to get up in the morning and cut my toast with it and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't really have much use for it.
Yeah. But anyway, as I say, so I used to send the chains off to be sharpened. It cost me £8 a time, and I was in Machine Mart looking for something else, and they had a chainsaw sharpener. It was about 40, I think about £44, and I thought, well, that's that has to make sense, and takes a bit of setting up and a bit of practice, but I do it myself now. It takes 5 minutes to sharpen the chain.
Yeah, I've got one as well. I would definitely say if you're gonna use a chainsaw often, especially if you've got firewood, get one. Because like I say, you just touch it on the ground or on a stone. That's it. You need to resharpen it. So
once you see those sparks, that's it. It's all over.
It's all over. It's all over. Right. Well, I guess we've done about 45 minutes, 45, just over 45 minutes there.
Okay. Let me we didn't even cover half the stuff we was going to talk about.
No.
That's because we're continually going off at tangents. That's the problem.
That's it.
Oh, actually, there was one thing I've got to say. One of the subscribers to the other and a subscriber to this channel, actually, Doug in Scotland.
Oh, yeah, Doug. Saw that. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, all right, Doug.
Hello, Doug.
There you go. That was a good one.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, I guess that's 3/4 of an hour. Then, yeah, if you stuck it out this far, well done.
Andy, well done. Much appreciated.
Yeah. There are other things that we're going to cover around DIY in the future. It's just we'll just talk between ourselves and see what comes up. Really, I think it's better when we go off on a tangent. Anyway, I think.
Yeah, it's
much better.
Nice.
That's it. So that's it. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to visit each of our channels as well and see what we're up to over there. So
don't think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already. What are we up to? 113, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Amazing. Thank you so much to everybody that's subscribed already, and tell your friends and share it. And yeah, fantastic.
Who'd have thought people actually want to watch us talk nonsense?
I was going to say 2 old codgers, but there's only one, isn't there?
I'm on the way. Don't worry. Okay, that's it then. So it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. Goodbye.